True with GunsAmerica's Hunt 365, and today we're going to be looking at the Snipe Pod system. So we've looked at a lot of lightweight bipods and tripods. This is the absolute lightest one in existence. So you may or may not like it. It may or may not be what works for you. I've actually used this tripod for years. I've shot, well actually I shot the very biggest elk I've ever shot off of it, a huge 7x8 that was in that 365 sort of class, public land bull, and it was one of the hardest shots of my life. I've shot stuff, coyotes out to 1,100 yards on it, and it's worked for me for what it is. So I'm going to quickly go over what they are, how they work. They make an actual tripod. This is actually the third leg adapter. So let me show you here. This is the Kawa Prominar TSN 554 spotting scope. And what we've got is a little miniature, super light ball head up here. You can adjust this with the thumb wheel and tighten it up. It's surprisingly stable for what it is. Like, you can get right down here and glass with it. There's also a binocular adapter that will hook onto this. And what we've got here is a tripod that weighs like 4 to 6 ounces, depending on your configuration and leg length, which is nuts when you really consider all that. And these legs fold up into little sections. So this will fit right in your pocket. You know, they'll get really, really small. Right now it's set up without a ball head, so you'd have to take the spotting scope off. But I'm going to break this all down and show you how it works. So that comes right off. And I'm making a mess out of things right here, right now, but check this out. So if I pull this pin, this one leg comes off, and now I have the bipod like what is on the rifle. So you could get away with this, shooting off of this, adding the third leg, and making it a tripod. And here's how quickly it goes together. You just push those together, push the pin through, and there's your third leg. Now each of these has a joint or a socket, and it's really stiff, and it allows these legs to articulate and to move. But let me show you how this folds up. Like, check this out. So it's kind of like the whole tent pole concept of just popping these apart, and they fold up really small, really tiny, and would just fit in your pocket. There's Velcro that wraps this all up. So that weighs less than my cell phone, if you can believe that. So there's a full shooting bipod that works sitting, prone, kneeling, however you want to use it. I've used it in all those configurations. And then add the third leg, which also breaks down the same way, and you've got a tripod that you can use to spot off of. Now the interesting thing about this is that I really have hated this little ball head. It just seems kind of flimsy to me, and it works though. So don't get me wrong, it absolutely works. You put this spotting scope on it and it absolutely does the trick. But Terry Kramer, the inventor of this, actually came out with a new head, and this head will attach to other tripods if you don't like his, or you can attach it to this one. So let me show you how this is gonna, this is the old setup right here with the little ball head, and you can see I can glass off of this. You can argue about how stable it is, but you can attach these three things and hang a water bottle or a rock, and it adds stability. But I'm going to show you the new ball head. It's got bearings in it. It is by far the lightest thing out there. It's tiny. So give me just a second. I'm going to swap things out to that. So this new ball head that Terry Kramer has designed, he calls it the Nano Head, and it runs on ball bearings, and it is butter smooth, as you can see here. Super, super smooth. The little handle here, you can tighten the tension with it, as well as this red knob tightens tension the other way. This little silver knob right here is what you open it up with, or tighten it to close the shoe. The other thing is, there's an adapter plate that goes in here, and you can put a really right stuff Arca rail on here if you're really dead set on using Arca stuff. So together, or so by itself, this weighs 2.6 ounces. You add his little tiny shoe that goes on to the bottom of your spotting scope, and it makes it 2.8 ounces. So what is that? 0.2 of an ounce is all this weighs, which is crazy. So let me show you how this works. We're going to slide this in, and then I'm just going to tighten that down, and that is locked in there. So we now have the ability to pan, and we can adjust the tension, as well as the ability to go up and down. And it is quite smooth as far as being on ball bearings, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna hit this, and you can see I can get a little movement. I mean, there's some wiggle out of these legs just because of the nature of what they are, but it is absolutely good enough to use, especially if you're looking for the ultimate lightweight setup. Now, if this is not stable enough because you spend hours and hours and hours looking through your spotting scope, this does attach to other tripods, and it's probably what I'm going to be attaching to one of my other little bit heavier duty tripods. I use horses, and so I'm willing to sacrifice a few ounces for more stability. But if you're looking for the ultimate lightweight setup that gets small, tiny, light, that's it. So look, if you haven't seen it set up on a rifle, this is how it works. We're clear, by the way, just so that everybody knows. This just pops out one little pin and it comes off, folds down, carry it in your pocket, this stays on your gun, weighs less than a phone. Slide this back on here, push the pin, and we're set up. You can shoot in a sitting position just like this. So these legs will articulate, they will pan because of the joint. I actually added this off of a tripod setup, and it allows me to spread the legs further apart, or if you need more height, you can put it closer together. But you can absolutely cant the rifle either direction. You can pan any way that you need to be able to shoot off of this. This is a super lightweight 28 nozzler, and we'll take a shot through this to let you kind of see what it looks like off the bipod. If you want to shoot prone, you simply pop these legs off to the side like this and drop this down. I mean, you can take the time to fold these up and Velcro them, which is normally what I would do, but this allows you to go prone off of this bipod, something like that. So, I mean, it's really wild if you think about it and how light it is and how easy it is to have something. It's better than shooting sticks in my opinion because it's attached to the gun. It allows you to actually carry it on the gun, and there's a little button here, and mine's about worn out, but if you push it in, it allows you to fold the bipod back against the gun like this so that it's not snagging on brush, and then when you're ready to deploy it, it just pops right out and locks in place, and the gun is set up and ready to go. If you need to shoot kneeling, get it close together, and you can absolutely do a kneeling shot sitting on a side hill. They're tall enough, but you kind of get the idea there. But I love the idea of just being able to pop it off, have it in my pocket, no big deal. So the Snipe Pod by Terry Kramer, sells them direct on his website. I have personally been using this for years, but this new ball head, the nano head, is a new product that I think is worth checking out. So guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. We appreciate you watching. Stand by. We're going to actually let you see a shot with a 28 nozzler. It's like a 6-pound gun, super light setup. It's a Leupold Mark V, the 3.6-18. It's a silencer co-side titanium suppressor. This is the aluminum action Havoc element, super light setup. So here you go. Here's the shot. Okay, I could spot the shot, no problem at all. So there you go.